You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast, where you'll learn step by step how to meet and seduce beautiful women. Whether you're looking for one night of fun, a week-long fling, or a long-term relationship. I'm your host, Trip, and the episode starts now.
Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. Welcome back to another episode. Happy to be here, as always, with my new mic. It's fun because I get to have a whole new setup here in my place and get to actually sit here and look out at the window, look through the city, and it's really it's nice. So I enjoy podcasting even that much more. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about your ex. So if you're listening right now, you're probably having a situation with your ex. Yep, that's right. Situation with your ex. And the situation is that you are still not over her. So what do you do? What do you do? A lot of guys still say, women do too. We all do. We stay obsessed with our ex. I mean, that doesn't happen every time, but it's been known to happen. Yeah, you sit there, you obsess, and it's over, and you haven't gotten past it. And so I'm going to give you some tips today on how to get over your ex, because I think that just kind of meshes together well with this idea of why you're so obsessed. And this was all inspired by a voicemail that I received from a guy who broke up with his ex, and now they're long distance, and now he wants to get back together with her. So he wants some advice on exactly how to do that. And how do you do that? How do you get back together with your ex? Or should you move on? What do you do? So we'll talk about that. A real quick update. If you don't already know, my book, Magnetic, is out. Magnetic, Cultivate Confidence, Become Rejection-Proof, and Naturally Attract the Women You Desire. 170 pages of pure gold, available on Amazon. Each chapter has action steps to teach you what to do in order to become a man who is attracting women that he really wants, and how to do it in a natural way, not in a weird, sleazy way, but how to become actually magnetic to women, how to build a lifestyle and a persona that gets women really attracted to you. That's why I call it magnetic, because you will become magnetic through this process. So check it out on Amazon. Again, there's going to be a link in the episode show notes. Also, if you want to just look it up, I would type into Amazon Trip Magnetic, Tripp, or Trip Kramer Magnetic, or just my name, Trip Kramer, and Magnetic pops up right there with the white cover on their audio version, available soon. If you're listening to this much later on, then the audio version's available. But right now it's not ready yet. They take a long time to approve it because they want to make sure the audio is perfect for the people who end up purchasing it. So there you go, Magnetic. Check it out. Now let's get into today's episode. I'm going to start off with the voicemail. Here's the voicemail from a guy who is not over his ex.
Hey, Trip, this is Ben calling. I had a quick question that I hope you can help me answer. So my girlfriend and I broke up my senior year of high school, and mainly due to distance since we were going to colleges far away. And essentially, Trip, is I think she's moved on, but I'm pretty sure I still have feelings for her. And I know this is kind of broad. I'm not giving a lot of background info, but like, if you could just give me some gems on maybe like how to rekindle that relationship. Is text best? Is voice, calling best? Like how would you approach that? Thanks so much, and hope you can help me out. Bye.
What a wonderful question. What a wonderful question. Should you text her? How do you get back together with her? Long distance? She's your ex. No, you didn't give me a lot of information, so it does get somewhat tricky sometimes to answer questions that are vague like this. But with the information that you gave me, I will give you an answer. Here's the long and short of it. You're in a situation where she's your ex. I'm going to guess that she is your ex because it was on her terms. Sounds like she broke up with you. Or maybe you guys decided to break up together because now it's become long distance. Either way, you need to not do anything to get her back. There are so many no's for this. I don't even know where to begin. No, you should not try to get her back. No, you should not try to get back together with someone who dumped you, if that's what happened. No, you should not try to get back together with someone who is long distance. I can't say that one enough. Long distance is the death of attraction and connection. Yeah, people do it. They make it work. They make it work if they see each other quite a bit. God, is it a struggle? Is it a struggle? And I'll take it back a little bit. It's not necessarily the death of attraction. In fact, sometimes it could be the opposite. Meaning, you could be in a long distance relationship and you have what's called an extended honeymoon phase. So there's a phase in every beginning of a relationship that lasts anywhere from 6 to 18 months. It's called the honeymoon phase, where you guys are just in love, you're infatuated with each other, you guys are falling in love with each other. That's the chemical process happening in your brain that allows you to get attached to someone, to come together, have sex, raise children. And so that honeymoon phase can be extended through a long distance relationship because you guys are not seeing each other all the time. You're seeing each other fairly infrequently. And so what's interesting here is, you might say, well, Trip, the honeymoon phase is awesome. It's a great part. You guys are so in love. It feels so good. Why wouldn't you want to extend it? Well, because you're living in a false reality, okay? You're living in a false reality. Sure, you're extending the honeymoon phase, but are you really in a relationship that you desire? I mean, a relationship where you see the person, I don't know, once a month, once every couple of weeks, so you're just shelling out tons of money to have to see them so much. It gets difficult. It's not a normal relationship. There's something really off about it. And it doesn't allow you to continue and grow into a relationship that's going to actually go somewhere. And eventually, when long distance lasts a long time, it unfortunately, most of the time, ends up not working out. The only long distance relationships that work out are the ones where there is an actual plan in place to be together at a certain time. Like, okay, in a year from now, we have decided that we're going to move in together or move to the same city or relocate jobs or something like that. But that's also very rare, right? A lot of long distance relationships are like, we like each other and we just want to stay together because we like each other, but there's no plan and we're not sure. We're just kind of desperate because we feel that we don't have the opportunity or we don't feel worthy of having a relationship that's actually awesome. I mean, that's the crazy part about it. Because a lot of people don't feel deep down inside that they can find someone else. I mean, let's craft the perfect relationship here for a second. The perfect relationship is a relationship in which you guys are in the same city, you guys can see each other, and you can develop a connection and see if this is actually going to work out. Okay? So that's the perfect relationship. Or I should say the perfect situation for a relationship and where it can grow and turn into something, or you find out no. Can you imagine if you're long distance for like years and then you guys finally end up in the same city, you spend more time with each other, which is a normal amount of time, and you realize, well, I don't like this person. That could happen. You just wasted your time. But yeah, I just going back to what I was saying before, this whole idea of thinking, well, there's no one else in my city who I can make a connection with, that I can like, that I can be with. There's no one else. There's really nobody else except for this person that I have to do long distance. You would never pick this. If I showed you the same exact girl, let's just say they were twins. Let's just create a little fantasy here, okay? A little scenario. There's two girls. They're the exact same. One of them's long distance. One of them's not. Who are you going to pick? Obviously, we know who you're going to pick. The one who's not. So that tells me that you are looking for something, of course, ideally in your city. Now, I know this has kind of gotten on a tangent here in terms of now we're just talking about long-distance relationships instead of getting over your ex, but this is really crucial stuff here, especially for those who are thinking about long distance. And I really wanted to answer your question here. So no, you should not do this. No, you should not. I don't even care if she was in the same city. You shouldn't get back together with your ex. Yes, there's ways to do it, but let me tell you something. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen. Yeah, there's strategies. I think I have a couple podcasts on it. I think I have a couple of YouTube videos on it. And I'll tell you the minute version of what that looks like is you just got to not spend time with them not see them, not contact them for 6 months to a year because you need to get them to forget you and forget about who you were, and then you re-court them. Then you try to attract them again. You know, I don't know, by texting them, hitting them up, getting back together. But I'm so against that. In many ways, I am romantic. I'm romantic in the sense where I believe that to find somebody who you can have a really good connection with is rare. But I also believe that it's not that rare, meaning it could happen again and again and again. So maybe it doesn't happen often, but it happens more than you think. The reason why people think it's so rare and think, oh, I found someone, I got to be long distance with them, or oh, I got to get my ex back, is because they're not really taking the time to go out and meet more women, which I preach on this podcast and in my book, Magnetic, is to go out and learn how to meet women, to take these matters into your own hands and not look at this in such a serendipitous way. All those romantic comedies you've been watching for years, teaching you that there's these random moments where you just happen to meet somebody. And they happen, but hopefully you're prepared in those moments. Because yeah, they happen. But if those moments aren't happening, then you need to create your dating, sex, and love life. You need to create that. For women, it's a little bit different, right? They don't need to necessarily create it as much because they're the ones who get courted and approached and talked to online and things like that. So they have to more so work on how do I get the guys to come to me, where you're not working on that. You know, it's not about working on how do I get these girls to come to me. It's just rarely ever going to happen. You know, most of the time you're going to have to be the one to do the approaching and all that stuff. So let's forget about these serendipitous moments. Let's realize that there's more women than you could ever possibly think of that could be someone you can make a connection with. And you want those options, by the way. Another thing I talk about in my book, something called the 3 non-negotiables. I did a podcast on this recently where I actually coached my friend Spencer, who's also a coach, on how to use the 3 non-negotiables to find and attract a woman. Well, in order to find your perfect match who has qualities that you want, you need to go and talk to a lot of women and go on a lot of dates. Because if you wait for the serendipitous moment where it just kind of happens, you better hope that this one's a good match for you. Or are you just going to settle and say, okay, well, I don't really want to, we're going to work hard and go out and meet women. And this one just kind of fell in my lap and it's easy. And then what happens? Well, you can become obsessed with this person and then you end up getting through a breakup. And then, you know, you end up in this part where you want to get her back just like the caller. And it's just such a bad idea. It really is. It's a bad idea altogether. We don't want to do this. So that's my answer. Please stop trying to get your ex back. Stop trying to get your ex back. Start trying to attract a better woman in your life. You might think, Trip, but she was the one. There's no one else like her. That's right. There is no one else like her. However, what I want to say to you now, something you might not understand if you're going through a breakup right now, because you're in a heavy emotional state, and I'm about to give you some kind of rational advice here. So it's tough to really absorb, but just hear me out. Also, I talk about this in Magnetic in the book quite a bit. I say this line actually word for word. I say that you're not attracted necessarily to her. The thing isn't necessarily her. Yes, it is. But what she did is she created a feeling inside of you. Okay? She has created a feeling inside of you because you were so attracted to her, so into her. Whoever she was, her uniqueness, etc. There's a feeling there. There's a feeling there that you feel good when you're around her. And my point is that that feeling is possible again. And when you have that feeling again with another woman, you're not going to care about your ex anymore because you're in this new thing with that same feeling. We'll call that, lust, desire, attraction, connection. It's that feeling that you can have again with someone else. Another, unique person, so to speak. Another unique connection, which there are plenty. We call this abundance mentality. The idea, the mentality that there's an abundance of women. In order to really step into that, you need to be going out a lot, doing a lot of approaching, talking to a lot of girls. That's the crucial part here. That's what's going to help you out the most. So please, no more trying to get your ex back. No more of this, okay? I want you to focus on moving forward, getting into a relationship where you're going through the 3 non-negotiables and you are finding someone who's in your city and you're dating around to see what it is that you like. This is for the guys who are looking for a relationship. I understand that some guys are not ready for that yet, and that's fine. Go out, have fun, sleep around, enjoy, be safe. But for the guys who are ready, when, if you're listening to this and one day you will be ready, that's what you want, take this advice. This is not theory I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. This is from experience. This is from having hundreds and hundreds of conversations with other people who've been in relationships. So I know what I'm talking about here. All right? All right, let's wrap this up real quick. If you want to take things to the next level, and Magnetic, the book, is just a tip of the iceberg, and you want to take it deeper, I have a video course called Hooked that teaches you step-by-step how to get women hooked on you. Similar to Magnetic, it's more in video form, and it goes a little bit deeper. So it's for the guys who want to take this stuff a little bit deeper, and you should check it out right now.
Hey, it's Trip Kramer. How would you like to be the man that women are naturally drawn to and command the animalistic magnetism that makes women desperately compete to become your lover? It's not enough to attract her. You've got to get her hooked. And that's why I'm inviting you to learn how to create an amazing abundance in your dating life that will make your friends grab you and demand to know what you're doing differently. You'll learn how to turn a female friend into a lover, how to set up a first date that naturally leads to sex. You'll even learn to get your ex-girlfriend or wife back if that's what you want. This program, Hooked, will get you everything you need to enjoy the sex life and dating life you know you deserve. Go to GetHerHooked.com to learn how to get a woman completely addicted to you. 100% money back guaranteed. GetHerHooked.com.